Hey guys, and welcome back to another Sims 4 speed building video. Today's kind of special because I'm actually building my first student house. This is a house that I lived in for the past 2 years, and I've now had to leave because I'm spending my last year as a student in a house with some friends. So obviously, I had to go from this 2-bed house to I think it's a 6-bed house. So it means that I've had to leave behind my precious house that I have loved living in, and my boyfriend who lived in it with me has also loved living in, to the point that he wants to make a bunch of money and then go back and buy the house so that, you know, it will always be our house, which I think is kind of sweet but also kind of really stupid. I mean, it's not like really stupid, it's just a bit weird because, you know. Anyway, but yes, this is a kind of terrace house. It's very typical of what you see around Hull, where I'm a student, because, you know, the Hull is a very industrial town, at least it was, you know, with the docks and everything, so, you know, there was a lot of workers, needed a lot of houses for workers, and as happened in Britain, and I don't know if it happened elsewhere, but who knows. As happened in Britain, lots of workers means terrace housing. So yeah, this is a terrace house. It doesn't look as good as it would do if it was in like a line of terrace houses. I just didn't really want to duplicate this house again and again and again, you know, on like a big row, but that's what it looks like in real life. It's got this house and then another one next to it and another one and another one and another one. So yeah, this is the basic layout, basic structure of the house. I think I had a bit of an issue here with like the roofs, because obviously I've never had like an aerial shot of my house. I just know that there is this bay window that goes all the way up, and obviously that must be covered by something. So I was kind of in a bit of a struggle. I'm not quite sure how long I struggle for. I hope it's not much longer. No, it seems like it's gonna be a while, but yeah. So like roofing this house was a bit difficult, but I think this is what I land with. It's just, you know, a bit of a peek over the roof, and then I'm pretty sure that the roof was black. Again, I haven't seen the top of the house, so I don't really know. I'm presuming it's black. Pardon me, that was yawn. So onto the brickwork. Again, it's a kind of Victorian terrace house, so the house was fully brick, well, except for the like little added section at the back. The little added section is the bathroom, because when these houses were built, they were not built with toilets indoors. There used to be communal loos outside, which I think that we could. There was a point when we noticed that like this kind of section, this like area at the end of this, because this house was like off a street, so you'd have a street and then we're on like a little avenue of the street. So the bit at the end of the avenue that kind of looked like it could have been where the communal toilet was. It also could have been where, instead, it could have been where like a communal like bread oven was. We never actually like decided which one we thought it was, but it was one of them. You know. So there we go, and putting in the windows. Now, obviously, this is a terrace house. There are no windows down the side at all, because that's into another house. So when you think about it, this house has so few windows. It has like the bays at the front, and then a couple of windows out the back, and that's it. Which is really weird to me. And then the gate at the front, and the fence, to like the left of our house, if you're looking at it like straight on, but the right if you're coming out the door. That it was like a different garden, like that was like a different set of houses. They were faced like the other way. They were on the main street. So there was like a big fence, and then around our little front garden bit, like slabs of stuff, there was just like a different fence, so that's why the two different fences. And then the other house had like a bit of a garden, so I decided that I'd put a little bit of greenery out there, because otherwise it just looked really like brick and not fun. So there you go. And I'm putting in the doors. They're very, standard doors. Look very much like these Sims doors. And then I was trying to find the right colour. I was like, ooh, make it a nice grey. It wasn't grey. It was like a white colour, but it definitely had, like a trim around the floor. So I was trying to find the thing. And then the right tiles in the kitchen, because there were tiles, and they were some quite nice tiles. So I thought the Parenthood ones fit quite well, especially since you're not going to see the grey, wooden bit, because that's going to be covered with counters, so it's fine. And then this carpet, the floorboards I liked, although they were like laminate or vinyl. They might have been vinyl, which is a bit gross in general. But the grey carpet, that's grey blacky carpet that's in the living room and also in the bedrooms upstairs was really gross. It's not a carpet I would pick myself. And then I had trouble finding the tiles as well, because just nothing I found really matched it properly, so I just went with the kind of basic kind of concrete floor, which is effectively what it was. These are proper student houses and a bit grim, but it's what you get when you live in a student house. And then I went around putting all the radiators in, because I love the fact that the vampire pack came with radiators, because in Britain we have radiators, so I thought I'm gonna put them in everywhere, exactly where they were. So we had a radiator in pretty much every room. I think there's also one in the bathroom, but I don't think I put it in because that'd mean that the bathroom wouldn't work, wouldn't fit, I think. Not 100% sure. And then, of course, finding the right couch. Because, again, student house, it was a brown leather kind of sofa that was a bit dingy and kind of broken. But I think that's, kind of classic student house, especially if you know that the landlord's not got new furniture in, straight away, for you when you move in. Because sometimes they do, which is lovely. But otherwise you get furniture that has been used, and it's a bit gross. And then some tables. So we had a big coffee table in the middle. The end table by the couch is actually represents my table, because I bought one from IKEA. It was £5 for this nice, I think it's supposed to be pine effect, not oak effect, but that kind of pine kind of colour. And that's mine. It was very nice. And then we have a TV on the TV stand, and an Xbox, because Ben has an Xbox. And the funny story, that TV was not there when we moved in. In our contract, we were supposed to have a TV, and it never came. It wasn't there when we moved in. We kicked up a bit of a fuss, and they gave us a TV. It was lovely. They did something weird with it, though. They mounted it oddly on the wall, which was very strange. At the moment I'm fussing with bookcases, because I have a Billy bookcase, again, from IKEA. Not sponsored, but they're very cheap and great for student stuffs. And then I decided to put some boxes on the floor, because we got a lot of stuff, and it kind of cluttered, so I thought, having boxes out and random books very much epitomised the kind of mess that we kind of lived in. And then I decided to raise some stuff up onto the shelves. Again, a file and some books, because we had things like the Yellow Pages and household bills and stuff just went up on that cabinet. And then this set of shelves had my some of my uni work and stuff on it, and I just thought by actually raising things up and putting them there, it just made it look a bit more real. And stack of cooking books, because I do have a stack of cooking books, and they did live on top of that bookcase. So trying to make it real, man. Real, guys. It's gotta be real. And a doormat that is basically the same colour as the flooring. Because again, actually our doormat was a bit of an offcut of the carpet. They'd obviously got too much carpet, which it's best to get too much than too little. But they literally just like left a chunk and left it by the door, and we just used it as a doormat for the couple of years that we lived there. And then some flowers in the middle, because I've recently started getting flowers and putting them in vases, because it just makes me happier. And I think this is pretty much it for the living room, I think, other than a few more bits of clutter on there. I think, again, I used the same kind of books I used before. Oh, mail. Yeah, we always had a stack of mail, because I think as a student you kind of, sometimes you get mail from like the previous tenant that lived there, and then you'll get like 1,000,001 like takeaway flyers, which are brilliant when, you know, you want them, but when you have about 4 of the same flyer, it gets really annoying. I got really tempted to put up one of those signs that says no takeaway menus please, but I thought that was a bit, you know, a bit too much. To move on to the kitchen, we did have cabinets that were kind of a light yellow, so I thought this Parenthood counter fits, you know, perfectly. Oh, pardon me. And we do have we did have a washing machine in the kitchen, so it's gone right there next to the sink, and of course a microwave and a coffee machine. I love my coffee machine. I swear, drip coffee, like filter coffee, is so much better than any other type of coffee, be that, you know, fancy like instant coffee or like cafetiere coffee. Like cafetiere and like drip, it's like the same thing, you know, you're running coffee through, you know, water through coffee and making, you know, coffee. But I swear my machine that like drips it is so much better. Anyway, I've rambled about coffee for ages now. The fridge, as you can see, is not actually in like the proper kitchen bit. It's in this kind of walkway thing between the kitchen and the bathroom, and it also has like the bit to get outside, where we had our washing line and our multitude of bins. And then, yeah, the bathroom is really basic. We had a shower bath, a sink, a toilet, and that's about it. I was going to put a hamper downstairs because we did have I have put a radiator in there. Yes. I was going to put a hamper downstairs because we do have one behind the door, but in The Sims that wouldn't work, so I've just put the other hamper that we have upstairs. There you go. It is red. And now onto the bedrooms upstairs. This bed's going to change because it doesn't really look like a bed. We had like a metal framed bed, and I know that the colours do not match the furniture. Like, you know, the bed doesn't match the other furniture. However, it didn't. We had very dark wardrobes and dressers and end tables, and they did not match the beds, which did kind of annoy me at first, but I grew to live with it. And we did have this many, you know, things for where clothes live. Dressers and wardrobes. We had 2 dressers and 2 wardrobes in one room for 2 years because we wanted the other room to be a kind of office, and so like a communal space for our computers. So we had to move all the wardrobes into the other room, which was a bit of a finicky situation. But, you know, worked out in the end. And then I wanted to put some clutter by the side of that wardrobe because there was always clutter by the side of that wardrobe. Constantly. And then, of course, some clothes on the floor because, naturally, some of them missed missed the washing basket when you kind of lazily threw it across the room. Because that's just how life is. And if anyone tells you it's not, then they're lying. Or they are very specific about what they do and how they do it. I'm not sure if I changed the colour of those dresses, because those dresses in real life are brown. I've left them white, apparently, in The Sims. That's not right. But yeah, so anyway, moving on. This is the office. We had 2 tables, 2 desks back to back, which wasn't the best for airflow around the computers, and then we had 2 computers kind of back to back, and this is more kind of like how our beds were. Obviously I'm squishing 2 single beds together there, but that's kind of how our beds actually looked, our double bed. So I thought that would work, and we did have like a little lamp that was there from, I think it was there when we moved in, and we've left it there because obviously it's not ours. So yeah, and then I think I've done the same with the bed in the bedroom, and then just kind of squished it against the wall because it was very much the beds were squished into the corners. And then there was like a little like a kind of weird sized Billy bookcase in the office as well that was there when we moved in. And mainly we used it to prop up the printer, so that the printer had somewhere to live that wasn't on one of our desks, because, you know, we had a lot of stuff to do, a lot of studying to do, and it took up all the desk space, really. And that calendar there was one that Ben, like, won a prize in. Like, one of his photos ended up in there. So we got a thing in it, a calendar, and it stayed up there. So that's it. Into the screenshots of my lovely, first uni house. Oh, so sad, left it. But yeah, I hope that you guys have enjoyed this video. I will share this build up to the gallery, so you can have your Sims live in my first uni home if you so wish. Obviously, if you're not bothered by that, don't worry. But it's kind of up there to remind me of what my first student house was. Yeah, I hope that you guys have enjoyed the video. Please give it a thumbs up, leave a comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. And I'll see you guys later. Bye!